Football fans, history was written on the pitch in Toronto. Senegal pulled off something extraordinary, a moment that's going to be remembered for years in World Cup history. A stunning 5-0 win over Iraq. Not just a win, this is now the biggest victory by Senegal in World Cup history, and the biggest margin of victory by any African nation at a World Cup, ever. Let's go back to the start and walk through exactly how this match unfolded. Both Senegal and Iraq had lost their opening two matches in Group I, against France and Norway. That meant this match was a must-win for both sides. And not just any win, they needed a win by a significant margin to have any real shot at qualifying. Senegal sat third in the group, with 0 points and a -3 goal difference. Iraq were fourth, also on 0 points, with a -6 goal difference. Both teams knew this night would decide everything. Senegal made their intentions clear almost immediately. Just 4 minutes in, Abdoulaye Seck headed the ball toward goal from a corner kick, and Habib Diarra got the final touch to put it in the net. That was the earliest goal in Senegal's World Cup history. The crowd erupted. But this match was only just getting started. Just 9 minutes later, in the 13th minute, Iraq suffered a massive blow. Rebin Sulaka brought down Sadio Mane, denying him a clear goal-scoring opportunity. The referee, Anthony Taylor, initially showed a yellow card. But after a VAR review, the decision was upgraded, yellow card became red. Iraq were down to 10 men, and the match had just gotten a lot harder for them. Here's an interesting piece of history for you. Iraq became only the second team in World Cup history to concede a goal and receive a red card within the opening 15 minutes of a match. The first team to do that was Colombia, against Japan, back in 2018. Despite the goal and the man advantage, the rest of the first half was relatively quiet. Senegal couldn't find a second goal. Iraq made their first substitution, bringing on Munaf Yunus for Ahmed Kassem to shore up the defense. Sadio Mane did test the goalkeeper with a free kick, but Ahmed Basil managed to keep it out. At halftime, the score remained 1-0 in Senegal's favor. But the real fireworks were saved for the second half. Iraq held firm for the first 10 minutes after the break. Then, in the 56th minute, everything changed. A mistake from Zidane Iqbal allowed Lamine Camara to win the ball and deliver a cutback, and Ismaila Sarr finished it off. 2-0 to Senegal. The stadium was roaring. Iraq brought on a substitute goalkeeper, Jalal Hassan, hoping to change their fortunes. But things only got worse. Within 3 minutes, Hassan was beaten twice. Pape Gueye, who had just come on as a substitute, scored an absolutely stunning curling strike just 89 seconds after stepping onto the pitch. 3-0. And Gueye wasn't done. Shortly after, he scored again, this time with a thunderous strike that reached a top speed of 132 km per hour. The goalkeeper had no chance against that kind of power. 4-0 Senegal. Sadio Mane almost added to the tally with a looping effort that struck the crossbar, but luck wasn't on his side this time. Then came the final big moment of the match. Iliman Ndiaye, also playing as a substitute, struck a brilliant effort from outside the box, and goalkeeper Hassan had absolutely no chance to stop it. 5-0. And that's how the match ended. The final whistle blew, and Senegal had made history. This was their biggest ever win in a World Cup, and the largest margin of victory by any African nation in the tournament's history. Let's talk numbers. Senegal fired off 28 shots in total, with 12 of them on target. Iraq managed just 1 shot on target from 6 attempts. Senegal also racked up 51 touches inside the opposition box, compared to just 5 for Iraq. And here's another fascinating stat: Sarr, Gueye, and Ndiaye all scored and assisted in this match. According to Opta, that's the first time 3 players from the same team have managed that feat in a World Cup match since Germany's stunning 7-1 win over Brazil back in 2014. Iliman Ndiaye also made history of his own. He became the first player in World Cup history to come on as a substitute and score a goal, register an assist, record 5 touches in the opposition box, and complete 5 dribbles, all in the same match. After the game, Senegal forward Ismaila Sarr said the 5-0 win was well-deserved. On the other side, Iraq's coach, Graham Arnold, said his team had performed well in a tough group, but that mistakes get punished at a World Cup. So now the big question: will Senegal make it to the knockout stage? They currently sit third in their group and will have to wait to see if they finish among the top 8 third-place teams across the tournament. But the early signs are promising. Iran finishing third in Group G appears to open the door for Senegal to qualify. If that's confirmed, Senegal will move into the round of 32, where they could potentially face England. As for Iraq, their World Cup journey ends here. But they showed real fight in what was an extremely difficult group. That was Senegal's clash with Iraq, the final Group I match of the 2026 World Cup, a match that will be remembered as one of the most historic performances of the tournament.